Lincoln Cathedral has dominated the skyline for more than 900 years. For many, it's the finest example of Gothic architecture in Europe. The Victorian writer and critic John Ruskin was certainly fulsome in his praise, describing it as the most precious piece of architecture in the British Isles, and roughly speaking, worth 2 of any other British cathedral. It is quite breathtaking. Tonight on Songs of Praise we celebrate the craftsmanship which has gone into making this cathedral, and we pay tribute to the work of thousands whose skill created it to the glory of God. On tonight's programme, the carpenter who came to Lincoln as a pilgrim and ended up staying for 21 years. The restoration of a priceless work of art, and music for every taste, including Stuart Townend, Hayley Westenra and Lincoln Cathedral Choir. You only have to look around this beautiful building to appreciate how artists and craftsmen use their skills to glorify God. But let's not forget the important role of music in praising God. Our first hymn really does say it all. It's Angel Voices Ever Singing.
The cathedral is not just a pile of stones, it's a living building, it's a working building. The architect identified 25 years' work, so there's a significant amount of work still to do. The Works Department's budget is £1 million per annum. If the Dean and Chapter came to me and said, oh, you can have £3 million a year, I could spend that. That's no difficulty at all. It's such a huge building. You know, you could fit a small parish church into one of the transepts. The Cathedral Workshop Fellowship is a group of 9 of the cathedrals that have their own workshops. We've come together because we feel that as a group we'll have a stronger voice to improve the apprenticeship schemes. The apprentices will have block release in the different cathedrals over a 4-year period, and that way they'll then gain experience and work in different types of stone.
I've got into this apprenticeship because a family member is a stonemason as well, and he kind of introduced me into masonry, and I found it interesting since from him. Different workshops have different styles, so learn different techniques at one cathedral and different types of stone, and get used to it for in the future if we go somewhere else.
Nationally, there is a shortage of heritage craft skills, you know, stonemasonry and joinery, leadwork. So, you know, for us to be able to become, you know, centres of excellence, that's only going to help all the historic properties in the country, not just ecclesiastical structures.
We're privileged to do what we do. I come to work every day and enjoy my work. It's not like work. I think the best thing about working here or any cathedral workshop is you've got the time to do the proper job. So you're not stinting in any way. You're working, if you like, to glory of God, you're doing the best job you can.
Have the tools that you use changed a lot over the years?
If a medieval mason were to come here, we could go back in time now and work the same as the lads did then. The only things that have changed is some of the mallets now, you get nylon mallets, whereas there would be, traditionally there'd be wood, there'd be beech or apple. The chisels, these are fire sharp chisels, just as they would have had in medieval times, be drawn out by a smithy on site. But nowadays we have tungsten tipped chisels. But apart from that, it's all just the same. We're going over the same things, working the same. When we use pneumatic air guns, that's, if you like, just to speed the job along. When I'm doing carving, especially free carving, people ask me, oh, it must take you ages to train to do that. And I'd say to them, it isn't me who's doing that. I'm only holding the chisel. The actual creative side of something, that comes from upstairs. And I'm just holding the chisels at the end of the day, so it's grand.